Welcome back to the channel. Today we are reacting to a Jubilee video. Now I got the stream background up because this is what I used when I'm like reacting to long stuff. I was gonna react to this on stream, but Jubilee just strikes your channel if you react to this on stream. So I don't know why they do that to me. I'm one of the only few people that actually don't just like shit on them for what they do. Jubilee, shout out you. You should have me on one of these days, or at the very least, let me stream your content. Like I'm just saying, I be talking that good shit. You feel me? All right, this is a popular one because a bunch of unhinged fascists apparently are debating Mehdi Hasan. I won't watch the full thing because it's an hour and 40 minutes long. Who got all that time? But I'll watch this. All right, I'm wasting your time. Let's do it.
You're from northern UK, I guess?
I'm from London, North London.
Okay, fair enough. What's your ethnic background, if you don't mind asking?
My parents are from India.
Okay, perfect. Just getting premise here. First of all, I want to say
the premise of Donald Trump being pro-crime.
No. I want to concern myself with why you care about what's happening in the U.S. first and foremost. Secondly, I want to say this:
should people who live in the U.S. not care about?
Let's not interrupt each other because I have this thing. Like people know, I have this thing. I have to stay calm. Okay. Here's the thing: I am happy that he released J6. In fact, so much so that I was prepared to protest if he didn't.
Okay.
So when you say, are you okay that he's pro-crime? Sure, because you know what? We're changing the definition of what crime is, first and foremost.
You don't think stomping on police officers' heads is a crime?
I don't think it's no longer a relevant conversation anymore. You're
Really?
arguing. No, it's not, because you know what?
Stomping on police officers' heads is no longer a relevant conversation. Priorities. And we're redefining what crime is. Like, are we really? Like, okay.
Okay. Have you seen the U.S. in the last 4 or 5 years?
Yes, I've
BLM protests.
All right, you can beat up cops and it's no longer a crime, people. I'm just letting you know. Based on what this guy says, it's allowed now, I guess.
You've seen, okay, I myself have been involved in these protests. I've seen egregious things that you couldn't even imagine.
So
being done to conservatives, it's not about that. It's about tribal warfare. Okay. That's where we're at in the U.S.
Tribal
you're in the
warfare.
UK. You're from India, so I don't really.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so
I'm an American
you
citizen.
have your own states.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that. Okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here. Okay.
But
a little different.
But you're a descendant of immigrants, settlers,
I didn't know.
colonialists.
Yeah,
you
colonials.
You don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
what was happening before the 1500s?
Yo, I've seen this guy go on a few of the Jubilee things. He's laughing at. It's pathetic, bro. You know what's pathetic about like a lot of people? The worst types of people that I hate the most are the people that are by default also getting discredited, right? How are you a person of color? How are you gay? How are you trans? And you hear shit like that and just think it's cool. It's the same thing that I felt when I watched Candace Owens debate Nick Fuentes. Like, Nick Fuentes he said black people are born dumber than white people. And Candace, stone face, shaking up and down, thinking that this was an inquisitive take. Like, you are black. These people, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how you hear these words as someone of color and go like, "Oh yeah, this guy represents me." I don't get it. I just don't understand.
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent, but what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from
Do you know
Asia.
what indigenous means?
Listen, before
indigenous people can't come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what
you're yapping.
I do know what it means. It means they came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay, just checking.
My point is, okay?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people are
because you're derailing, dude. I'm trying to stay on track.
You literally sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed this conversation from the get-go.
I think you got offended by that, but I'm
not offended. I'm just wondering what it has to do with crime.
I'm always curious.
He's not derailing. You literally said, "Why do you care about these issues?" And then you brought up his family lineage and said and try to make a claim he's not really American. And now you're bitching and crying like a little pussy. Yo, this shit is yo, MAGA cries like bitches so much more than any group right now. Right now, like it was initially leftists who were crying about everything, but MAGA cries more than leftists. How things come full circle.
Immigration, don't worry, later on you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just got a round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing
this how you get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing.
Yo, Mehdi got him. He's like, wow, you got a round of applause with people who agree. I would hope you get a round of applause with people who agree with you. Jesus.
Wait till this comes out. You know what? I'm actually
20 people agree with you, applauded you.
Outraged right now. This is great.
I love it.
Do I have to say anything at this point, or are you just going to keep going?
Please.
Okay.
Make it clear.
My claim is that I don't care if it's pro-crime. You want to go back to the topic of conversation?
So you lost the argument. You're okay with him being a criminal and pro-crime. Mehdi claims he is pro-crime. Argument done. We good. Let's leave.
We agree then. So, he's pro-crime.
But I have a question for you, though. Do you care on the opposite side of the spectrum?
Yes.
Do you care about law being administered to the opposite side of the spectrum?
I think anyone who assaults a police officer shouldn't be pardoned. I think that Donald Trump shouldn't have pardoned 9 Republican members of Congress who were convicted of crime, and I don't think Joe Biden should commit. I don't think Democrats should pardon Democrats.
Fair, but I don't think you understand where we are in the U.S.
Oh, so you thought he was going to say otherwise, and now he was like, fair. That's what... I don't know who MAGA be talking to, because they have this weird assumption that people who criticize Donald Trump for his bullshit think that the other side shouldn't have to have the same type of consequences. It's hilarious to me when people are in my comment section thinking that I'm a liberal or a leftist or a Democrat, and I said, bitch, I'm not. So I don't know why you're claiming that. And then they say, oh, but what about this? I'm like, yeah, that person sucks too. Crazy. It's called consistency, motherfucker. Like, what are we doing?
I think I do.
No, because you're arguing for a position of like a U.S. that doesn't exist anymore. Okay. We're headed towards
nihilism. No laws, nothing matters.
It's not about nihilism. It's not about that. It's that conservatives for too long have been playing it safe. They've been playing by the law. They've been playing by the law. Yes, they have.
Maybe you missed the Bush presidency. Did you live here during the Bush years?
Conservatives are
didn't play by the law, George W. Bush. Nor did Ronald Reagan.
Let's be respectful to you. Let me finish.
I'm not sure you've been that respectful, but okay.
I'm trying to bring it back, so let's both bring it back. Okay. I'm conservative. Okay.
Really?
Let me tell you this. We do play it too safe. We've been playing it by the book for too long. At this point, gloves are off, right? The left has made...
So let's destroy the country. Gloves are off because what exactly... What? You know what? Let me let them finish. Because apparently America is so bad that we should just fuck over the country. Let me hear it.
Their point, they're willing to
the police force in Washington, the left.
Yes! Are you kidding me? The left? Are you...
Yo, these dipshits, bro. The police force is... Okay, all right.
Police officers.
Look at LA right here. Do you think those stand down? You think
the LAPD are a bunch of liberal Marxists?
No, but I think they listen to liberal Marxists who tell them what to do. Okay. I think they listen to who signs their paychecks at the end of the day.
Check, because you're doing lots of little diversions. We both agree Donald Trump's pro-crime. You're just fine with it.
No,
that's what you've said so far for about 5 minutes.
I don't agree with your definition.
What's your definition of crime?
It doesn't
Stomping on a police officer's head is not a crime. That's your definition of crime as the Native American.
I am Native American.
If you say so.
So going back to the topic at hand, we have different definitions of crime because you're talking about...
There's a criminal code in this country. It's called the U.S. Criminal Code.
You know what? Let's focus on what we agree on. I'm sure you and I actually agree on a lot more.
Do we agree that people shouldn't stomp on police officers' heads? Can we agree on that? If you don't agree on that, then I really think this conversation is kind of
pointless. Because first of all, you're saying what? That the police have the authority, that they're given the authority. I don't accept the authority that's been given by liberal...
So, you know what? Let's rewrite crime. I don't believe police should have the authority to just... What? You don't think the police should have the authority to prevent people from going into the Capitol? But you're the same person who was bitching about the BLM riots. Am I confused? This says positive. I'm not positive at all. This shirt.
Conservative pro-police.
It's hey, listen, you're in a room with juggernauts right now. Okay? I'm telling you right now, you are going to be blown open if you think that
if we're going to struggle with the English language for the next couple hours, then
what you're up against right now. Okay. 100%. Yeah. Newsflash. The conservatives are liberal to me, okay? Neocons, libertarians, all those mainstream people, they might as well be leftists to me, okay? That's how far to the right I am. Do you understand my position?
When you're crazy.
When you're saying, about obeying police, why would I give the authority to police? Do you know you're in America?
Do you think Donald Trump should be pardoning 9 members of Congress who committed financial crimes? Are you pro-financial crime? Do you pro-financial crime?
All right,
Thomas Timbo is?
Pause.
I think the people who clapped you have voted you out.
All right, head back to your seat. You've been voted out by majority.
Mehdi is so quick-witted. I would love to have a conversation with Mehdi. even though we vehemently disagree with like some probably more, he's probably way no, not probably, he's definitely way more left than I am. I mean, we definitely disagree with the Israel Palestine stuff, but I think Israel's government right now is unhinged as fuck, and we need to do something about that. I'd love to have a conversation with Mehdi. He's a funny guy.
Party.
Nice to meet you.
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't shake this guy's hand, or would I? Would I want to keep up appearances? But I don't respect him. Why would I shake his hand? It is the respectful thing to do. Fuck, I don't respect him though. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'll shake his hand in the moment or not. It's hard to say.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, so I'm going to be as respectful about this as possible, but the truth is your claim is completely bad faith. You do not care about being anti-crime. You yourself are pro-crime. Your side is pro-crime because you're a progressive.
How am I pro-crime?
So I'll give you an example, right? So your side, not Donald Trump, has passed a series of laws in California. Let's go California. It's where we are right now. It's where I'm from. I don't know. Are you from California?
No.
Or? Okay. So in California, for example, the state legislature, completely progressive, just passed a law that limits sex offender registration to 10 years. It was life before. That's pro-crime. The
California is a tier-based sex offender registry. Those who commit misdemeanors have to register for a minimum of 10 years, while those who commit more serious sex crimes have to register for 20 years to life. So this motherfucker just lied. Oh, continue.
legislature in California, which is progressives again, has passed a law that says the voter-induced three-strike law is no longer absolute. If someone murders someone, stabs someone on 3 separate occasions, a judge now does not have to give them life. That's a progressive law.
California voters changed the state's 3-strike rule in 2012, so the mandatory 25 to life sentence was only imposed on serious or violent offenders. In 2021, the legislature offered a mandatory resentencing for those with certain enhanced sentences. So this motherfucker is just lying. That's why, bro, MAGA is just full of misinformation, lies. They never tell the truth. I'm done, bro. 2 lies. You know what? Let's do the 3-strike rule right now. Lie one more time. We done with this fucking conversation.
That is pro-crime. You support that, don't you?
I actually don't support sex offenders coming off a list. I think they should be on for life.
Okay, so you disagree with progressives.
So hold on. You and I both agree that sex offending is a bad thing, especially child sex offending, right?
It seems like you and I agree on that.
I agree on that.
Legislature of California doesn't.
So I'm not here to debate the legislature of California. I'm here to debate Donald Trump being pro-crime. And I'm saying that Donald Trump was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. When Ghislaine Maxwell, who's the worst child sex trafficker of our lifetime, she's serving over 20 years. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, she's actually not. Jeffrey Epstein's the worst sex trafficker.
He's dead. I'm talking about people alive right now.
It's interesting, though, you didn't use his name, right? Wouldn't he be the one who did this?
Oh, great. I'm glad you brought Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, before he died, did an interview with Michael Wolff. He's on tape. I don't know if you heard the tape. He says, my closest friend was Donald Trump. I was his closest friend. Elon Musk, I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He tweeted recently that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files. And Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the right-hand woman of Jeffrey Epstein, when she was on trial for child sex offending, which you and I are opposed to, Donald Trump stood up and said, good luck to her, I wish her well. So yeah, that makes him pro-crime and pro-criminal if he's being soft on child sex traffickers like Epstein. I'm saying he was friends. He was friends with Epstein. You haven't seen the videos? They danced together, partied together. Epstein said I was his closest friend.
He's not supported the pedophilia part. The only people supporting
pedophilia
pedophilia
that's not true. Trump gave a speech about 20 years ago where he said, Epstein's a great guy. He loves young women. A lot of them are very young. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, laugh, laugh. So yeah, I think he's...
Yo, Mehdi is cooking. I don't have to say anything. Matter of fact, I got a video coming out going through the whole timeline confirming all this shit. This is actual facts. This is truthful thing, not the bullshit this bitch ass was putting out. So he got nothing. He got nothing.
Pro-crime and pro-criminal.
So you think he's soft on sex offenders? Do you have any friends who are criminals?
Not that I know of. Certainly not child sex offenders. No, do you?
No, of course not.
Okay, so we're both in agreement again.
No, I don't have fucking friends as a criminal. If I did, then he would not be my friend anymore. What type of questioning is that?
If it came out tomorrow that one of your friends was a child sex trafficker,
you know what I'd do?
You'd stop being friends with him.
Yes. Yeah, and I wouldn't say...
And then I'd go on TV and I would say, oh, look, Mr. Hassan was friends with this guy 10 years ago. Therefore, he's pro-child sex trafficking.
What if Mr. Hassan said, I wish them well when they're on trial? Wouldn't you ever go at me for that?
You wish your friend well on trial?
Yeah, child sex trafficker. Would you be mad?
I wouldn't wish someone well, but that's your gotcha. That's your gotcha.
It's a pretty big gotcha.
You wish your friend
well. Pretty big gotcha.
Okay.
He praised the woman for child sex.
Not only that, don't forget the person he hired, Alexander Acosta, went easy on him when it came to his trial, and Pam Bondi, who was the attorney general in that case, kind of let that easy, what was it called? Easy punishment. There's a better term. There's a legal term. I just can't remember the term. Easy punishment go through. And Pam Bondi obviously is currently the attorney general that had the files and now won't release the list. And multiple people have said Donald Trump's name is on the list. Pictures, statements, and now even Epstein's brother. And then the whole, bro, we could go through the entire thing. It makes Donald Trump look horrible. But this dude, Oh my God, a person of color. Bro, there's no way. All right.
How's it going? Nice to meet you, Mehdi.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. I really just more want to.
So let me check. When the guy said Native Americans were whites, let me check if he was clapping. Hold on. Hold on. Let me check if this motherfucker was clapping.
U.S. I don't know where you're at in the UK. You're from India, you're conservatives. Enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely 1500. So I have some stake in the claim here. Okay,
but you're
a little different.
But you're a descendant of immigrants, settlers, colonialists.
Yeah,
colonials. You don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
Okay, he wasn't clapping. But they're smiling. Oh, I can't. He looks like he has some color. He doesn't look like he's clapping. Imagine clapping. I don't think this guy is full. He might be full. I can't tell. He's very, very, very light complexion. Imagine smiling like, oh, whites are Native Americans, and you're brown. Imagine. All right, let's move on. Actually, let me hear what this guy got to say. After hearing all that bullshit, let me hear what this guy got to say. All you Trump supporters in my comment section about a dislike. I don't know how I keep on getting Trump supporters in my videos. Y'all good dislike, hate this.
They're all criminals because they committed a crime. I have a feeling your position.
The Supreme Court. We're going to talk about immigration.
Someone who's illegally entered the United States, not a criminal, but someone who's illegally entered the Capitol.
Not according to the Supreme Court of the United States.
The Supreme Court has said that anyone who enters the United States illegally is not a criminal.
And we can jump to future claims.
Can I get the case?
We can jump to 20. You want to get the case?
The case site, please. You said the Supreme Court.
The citation of the case.
Yes, that entering the United States illegally is not a crime.
It's called Arizona versus United States 2012. Go look it up.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seats.
This guy got railroaded. He had notes and everything.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you, sir?
Nice to meet you, Mehdi.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. I really just more want to get an understanding. When you say pro-criminal, what do you mean?
I mean that when confronted with people who've committed criminal acts, Donald Trump has been either soft on them, friendly with them, pardoned them, and of course, let's not forget, I mean, we've got 5 minutes left. I'm surprised it hasn't come up earlier. He's a convicted criminal himself sitting in the White House.
Okay, I want to make sure I understand you correctly because I don't want to strawman you.
No,
You're saying
I appreciate that.
every time that he's been confronted,
Not every time.
most times,
every time.
most times,
A lot of the time.
a lot of the times,
Yes.
he's leaned towards criminal activity.
I didn't say criminal activity. He has committed crimes.
Endorsed criminal.
He's been indicted for 88 different criminal offenses in 4 different jurisdictions by 5 different grand juries. He was convicted himself on 34 different criminal offenses by a jury of his peers. But let's park that for a moment.
Okay.
Separate to his own crimes, when confronted with the crimes of others, or the alleged crimes of others, for example, a Chinese crypto billionaire called Justin Sun, who was being investigated for market manipulation, Trump dropped the case, invited him to the golf course, invited him to the White House,
plenty of examples,
and the guy invested $70 million in Trump's cryptocurrency.
If you know all these examples exist, how are you gonna respond? Because there's multiple politicians that were stealing money from their voter base that Donald Trump has pardoned, multiple of them, including Eric Adams. So what I want to
ask you this. Okay, so is it possible, because remember the burden of proof's on you, right? You have to prove. Is it possible that all these things that he's done that supposedly make him pro-crime, is there's another reason for the doing it? There's other justification. For example, let me give an example, and then you can rebut it. The J6.
Yes.
Is it possible that he could have done this to unite the country, to move past, to go to a new chapter? If it's even possible, I think you.
All right, Donald Trump is defying the Constitution. Here's the infamous fascist here. Yo, he was eyeing that chair. Yo, you saw his eyes? Yo, he was locked in. It's like, I need to get that chair.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frank. Okay. Because in regards to the Constitution,
Americans clapping that he doesn't care that he's anti-constitution. Americans. God. Save us.
And the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us. And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women.
The First Amendment doesn't defend pornography. That's a lie.
Be victimized, making women and children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like black.
Well, all right, I want to correct it. It does not defend obscene material. Pornography is an exception due to being claimed as an artistic expression. If we're talking about porn versus like obscene material, so I was thinking obscene material just to be blatant. So obscene material is not defended by the First Amendment. If you think porn in general, that is like something adults can access if they feel like, then in that situation, I mean, that's your prerogative. You don't think porn should exist. I mean, cool, I guess. That a lot of people would disagree with you. Donald Trump would disagree with you because that motherfucker fucks all the time. So like, I guess.
Blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment. I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So this is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay, surprise! I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
whenever
the
it's in your
Second
favor.
Amendment. Yeah, absolutely.
So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
So you don't
it's the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree.
So
And
you
that's part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't.
These motherfuckers hate America. You know how, for me, my platform, I don't like Hasan because I think Hasan hates America. So I think people who hate America are plagues in the United States of America. They ruin the country. And they're worse than the illegal immigrants they claim are ruining the country, to be honest, because they want to destroy democracy. I like democracy, but they rather have a king, a Catholic king. Maybe go live in Italy, go live in the Vatican City with the Pope. I don't know. Get the fuck out of my country. How about just that? Just get the fuck out of my country, because I don't want you here. Because apparently you don't give a shit about the United States of America. Why are you here? Like, I don't get it. I don't get why these pieces of garbage are here.
Even vote for him. I wrote in like John Porter or someone. I can't even remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted. I kind of voted just to.
I came with this argument, but I'm bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local leaders.
Who is the we, by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far right conservatives sitting right around.
White
me.
people?
Yeah.
No
absolutely.
So,
well, actually, I have quite.
Some of the people in this room don't make the cut from what I can see visually.
Actually, hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white.
People were literally clapping. And he said white people, absolutely. Now he's changing his stance because he realized that not everybody clapped after that. You see how people's tone shifts if they don't get the fucking entourage in the background? Now he's tone shifting so he gets those claps that he's desperately need because he's a fucking loser. But let's carry on.
Who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you. I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white, and should stay that way.
How does the United States... I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States...
That bitch-ass motherfucker back there clapping. He's like, yeah, give me all the whites. Get the fuck brown people. Get the fuck out of my country.
Look like under... Sorry, what's your name?
My name is... my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh, well,
saying
I use
Connor-
a pseudonym online,
fair enough.
but fair
Connor,
enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
I didn't ask about
whether-
deporting. What does the government look like?
What's the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
No, but
who
who picks the autocrat?
frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings were
Isn't
paid.
that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that state.
And then no more votes afterwards?
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills because
How do
that's
you
the
know?
whole thing.
How do
Well,
you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt makes
supporters.
this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right? You
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a
Who
fan
ca-
of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at
I didn't
all.
say that. I
Doesn't
didn't actually
matter to
say
me.
that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well,
More bitch ass motherfuckers are clapping still that he says he's okay with being a Nazi. Like, I want these people out of my country. Like, these people are evil. These people are evil.
they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
What about the
you know,
persecution of the Jews?
well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But
And
you
so
don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews.
I think that there was a little bit of persecution.
We
and stuff
may
like
have
that,
to
which is
rename this
bad,
show
but-
because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you say, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely.
People are laughing. Y'all are fucking pathetic. Oh my god, this is a joke to people. This is what pisses me off. That this is a joke to people. This motherfucker wants an all-white fascist government led by a dictator. He just wants a white North Korea. Led by Catholic teachings. So I don't know.
Just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone
Because
is on this.
in-
Because you know
during-
that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
clearly you're not.
During the
Clearly you're not.
during the pre-war period prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat
Are
cats.
you
They
in
were
favor of,
aristocrats. They didn't care.
killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not. If
You mentioned
they-
Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children. He was Catholic,
He only
dude.
killed combatants. Is that what you're
Yeah,
claiming?
he only killed combatants.
Never killed any
the
innocent
white.
people.
And his forces killed or executed 150,000 people. That includes members of the Catholic clergy who were deemed either liberal or loyal to the Spanish Republic. It's just like they don't care about facts or history. They want to skew everything based off a ideology that only serves them. These people are genuinely evil. You know, I don't gotta say anything else. You guys, I think we all understand. Hopefully, I might get people in my comment section saying, "That's not what he said. That's not what he said." Oh my god, bro! Just these motherfuckers hiding behind a profile picture. At least he's not hiding behind the profile picture. Matter of fact, he went on Twitter and was like, "Oh, this was me, guys," because he's gonna try. He wants to be like Nick Fuentes. I don't even know. Has Nick Fuentes ever gone this far? He might be worse than Nick Fuentes.
The white terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns, dude. Killing priests? I mean, priests don't brandish guns and kill
You
people.
just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think about me. If I'm a Nazi and
the
being a
feeling
Nazi,
is mutual.
if
So
being a Nazi means upholding human
Canada.
dignity, because I even believe in your dignity. I don't in a state that I was
with the
running,
greatest of
I wouldn't
respect,
want to hurt
I
you
don't
or
debate.
anything like that. But
what are we
quite
doing here?
frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why
Do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you
don't
just seem
know what
offended.
you're doing here,
You
to be
just seem offended, to be quite frankly. Like,
I'm offended by people who can't condemn the Nazis. Yes, I am.
okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really
Against
care
the
about
Jews?
being. Yeah, sure. I don't care about being called a
Yeah,
Nazi.
sure.
Is the whole
I
thing.
never called you a
I
Nazi.
care
You
about
called
doing
yourself
the right
a Nazi,
thing.
a fascist, and a General Franco
Well,
supporter.
yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole
And
thing.
you don't believe in democracy.
I don't believe in
What are
democracy.
you doing here at a televised debate?
Because-
This is democracy. Not what a debate and
because
disagreement.
it is the means to support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because
I'm trying to think about how we got here. I've already made the claim, and I was very clear about it, that MAGA is bolstering racists. Like, that is objectively true. Obviously they're bolstering transphobes. I don't know if they're bolstering homophobes. I haven't really seen any like anti-gay messaging necessarily. But now it's very clear that they're bolstering fascists, which, I mean, Donald Trump's a fascist. Anti-democratic, anti-American people that are trying to guise themselves as Americans because their great-grandmother was born here and she's white and she claims to be Christian or Catholic or whatever. The problem, we're definitely in a weird space in America. I had this guy in my recent TikTok video saying that he's ready for a civil war and it needs to happen. All these privileged little pussies that don't really know what true suffering is. I'm not going to pretend I do, because I don't pretend that I don't live in a privileged lifestyle. I live a very privileged lifestyle. I just do. But all these little pussies right here, they be just yapping in their room, on their computer, with their cell phone. Maybe they have an Xbox TV. He obviously eats well, groomed, so he has a shower, nice clothes. Privileged little pricks that just want to destroy my country. It's I kind of understand how we got here, but honestly, I'm gonna be very clear. We don't need to be nice to these people. We don't. We don't need to be friendly. We don't need to try to understand these people. Now, I'm not going to say we need to be violent towards these people. That's where I'm never going to go to, because that's such a bad precedent, and I'll never allow that precedent to be set unless it's like self-defense, obviously. But these people need to be shamed. They need to be condemned. They need to be ostracized. You can go fall in your fucking pit hole in the corner of the internet by yourself, away from society. I'm done feeling sorry for these motherfuckers. I'm just done. I'm done. I don't feel sorry for these people who hate my country.
About our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean upholding free speech after we win. Again, I mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in is that you guys are so open about it.
The whole reason I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction. Even liberals, when they take power, they want to enact policies and they want to enact protections for.
I'm done.
I'm not sure what you want to say.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right. Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seats.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
I can't say this.
I'm be honest, Mehdi, I'm not shaking this motherfucker's hand. I think I'm very clear. I think I know. If I don't respect you, I'm not shaking your hand. Get away from me. Go. Bye. Let's debate the next person.
Same, but thank you. Good to meet you, Mehdi.
Good to meet you, sir. All right. So I kind of want to start at the basics or the foundation. I want to see.
Can I just check?
Yes.
Are you a fascist?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I describe myself as, I think, just a Christian.
Fair enough.
I'm a devout Christian.
Good to hear.
So
I don't give a fuck if any of you guys are clapping now. You guys are, a lot of you guys were laughing and giggling at this guy who hates America. You know, most of y'all can go fuck yourselves. Like, legit. Like, seriously.
I want to start, like, what is your connection to the Constitution, and why do you love it so much? Like, what makes it so important?
What? This is the most insane Jubilee video. And you know what? Jubilee, I don't blame Jubilee. I think this was a great thing Jubilee did. Jubilee has exposed the right wing with this video. Exposed them. Because there's going to be people defending them. And people will start seeing very clearly, the moderates especially, we start being, yo, these motherfuckers are insane. Just like how the crazy leftists are insane, and you guys, we got that clear. Now you guys are seeing the right is insane. They are insane. And now, anytime you're in a debate with someone's like, yo, what's wrong with MAGA? Point to this video. Watch this Jubilee video. Hey, I think this was a great idea, Jubilee. No, I'm not even trolling. This was great. This is perfect evidence to expose these motherfuckers who hate America.
That Trump would defy something like the Constitution to you personally?
Great questions. My first connection is I'm an American citizen. I naturalized American citizen, took a pledge to this country, to the Constitution. As a previous speaker has said, the Constitution is not perfect. A lot of things I don't like about it. I don't like the Second Amendment. There's various amendments. I don't like the way the Senate is set up. I'm sure there's things you don't like about the Constitution. The difference is I don't think you can just illegally defy the Constitution. I think each and every one of us can just make up whatever we want. Certainly presidents who are elected with an oath, right? Donald Trump took an oath to preserve, protect, defend the Constitution. And now when he's asked on television, isn't it your job to uphold the Constitution? He said on NBC, I don't know, which goes against his oath. And I'm identifying specific amendments where he is violating. He's only 6 months into his presidency, defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He wants to defy the 22nd Amendment and be president for a third term. This is the problem we have right now. Free speech is under assault. The free press is under assault. Due process is under assault. The right to be in your home and not be invaded by federal agents, the Fourth Amendment, is under assault. So that for me is a problem.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'd like to start to say I really don't find the Constitution that important. I find it to be like a 300-year-old.
Yep, I'm done. Who's next? Should I waste my time reacting to anything else? Yeah, let's move on from that one. Immigrants overall are good for America. Let's see. Let's check out at least a little bit of.
My next claim is that immigrants.
To Straight Arrow News for partnering with us on this episode. Now, let's get into it.
My next claim is that immigrants overall are good for America. Hi, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you,
Mehdi.
Daniela. So in regards to your claim, I just want to start by asking this. Do you care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
That's not true. What's the basis of your claim for that?
Are you talking about people that get naturalized in the process of becoming American?
14th Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It says any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's about 40 to 50 million naturalized Americans in this country.
Yes, but
you didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions, it's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
positively, I would argue.
People like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields that we go to college for, that we get into.
Yo, Donald Trump has fucking ruined these people. Everything wrong with their lives, they just blame immigrants. Oh, immigrants caused all the prices to go up. And then you ask, how did they do that? Well, there's so many, like, none of this is true. They've attributed so much to the American economy with their working, with them, if they have businesses, they pay taxes through an ITN. They do the jobs Americans don't want to do. And a lot of naturalized immigrants end up pretty successful, do pretty well in our education,
debt for. And because more blue collar work, especially in construction, agriculture, and so forth, and the hospitality industry, we cannot get jobs in those fields. So it requires.
Are you looking for a job in construction?
I am not. No, I went to college.
And I just want to. We also have very low unemployment. So these people are not struggling getting jobs, really. And a lot of the jobs that immigrants do, a lot of these people don't want to do those jobs, especially since they pay a very low amount, which is an issue. Very low amount for extraneous labor, but yeah, Americans are really trying to get those jobs. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Many people here are in college or went to college, or we can't even find jobs in our fields. Also because of
and that's immigrants' fault.
As well. But in regards to just your claim about immigrants specifically, we cannot even get jobs to pay for housing.
Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
Correct.
Okay. Is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I can see,
yo, she's stupid. Moving on. Oh, this guy I know for a fact is a racist. Oh, I think I know who this guy. This guy said, "You're an immigrant, get out." I remember that. I've seen this clip.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Mehdi.
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. All right, so first before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can talk about all those things. I need to know what you mean.
All of them. I'm saying immigrants are good for the economy. They're good for culture.
Wages are
they're
good
for society. Where's the lower wages?
What do you mean, where's the lower wages?
Where's the lower wages?
Yeah, so you can
What's the basis for saying no lower wages?
Sure, so you can look at like the STEM industry. It's been in like a complete and total recession. There's been tons of studies like from the Economic Policy Institute that shows that like companies like Tesla, companies from like Silicon Valley, they engaged in mass firing of workers, around 35,000, but then they hired around 12,000 H-1B visas. And it's kind of just standard economic thinking.
It's not standard economic thinking. The vast majority of economists and economic studies suggest that there is a negligible, if no impact on wages over time.
That's not
from immigrants. In fact, your colleague mentioned earlier, construction, there is actually evidence in construction, yes. But in some industries, in some areas, there is an impact. But overall, no. In fact, a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that migrants since 1965 have raised wages and raised innovation.
Who's that by?
National Bureau of Economic Research.
No, hold on. That's where you publish studies. I'm
yes, I didn't memorize the names of the authors.
Yeah, I know you did. Right?
Can you give me the authors you've got?
Yeah, hold on. The study you're talking about is from Giovanni Perry, and what he did is he didn't account for aggregation issues, nor did
the
he.
Vast majority of studies.
Let me speak,
please.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So listen, he didn't account for aggregation issues, right? And when you look at like the spatial approach, which is what all these economists use, you're not accounting for the fact that when immigrants come into an area, natives leave. If you look at an occupational approach, where you look at the specific firms that immigration is going into, like Kim ETAL 2013 did, you find a net negative impact when there's a 10% increase of immigration. You find around a 0.5% decline in wages when it comes to the specific occupations they're going to.
So
all your studies are flawed.
So 0.5%. Weigh that up against what I just mentioned from the Congressional Budget Office, which is a massive boost in GDP per head, which you're not counting for, massive increase in tax revenue, immigrants actually funding the deficits and debts by paying way more in taxes proportionately, including undocumented immigrants. And what's interesting about wages is, I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore, conservatives, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. One of you has probably said that. One of us proudly, oh yeah, correct. I'm in a room full of correct people, but do any of you actually care about wages? Because,
yeah, I actually do,
For example, do you support raising the minimum wage?
Absolutely, and you can't do that when you're bringing all these people coming into your
So the baseline of his argument is that immigrants have come in and taken jobs from Americans, and because of that, they have lowered certain occupations' job wages. Was it wages? Or just, I think he was referring to wages by 0.5%. And Mehdi countered that by saying that they drastically improved the economy overall in terms of the GDP, in terms of taxes, of course, as well. So in terms of, a cost-benefit ratio, it's very obvious that they've been overall good for the economy. He's just upset that there is an immigrant that got a job that he didn't get, or his white friends didn't get. That's where the hate comes from. An immigrant got a job I didn't get. Now, I would be interested in having a conversation about H-1B visas. I would also be curious on his opinion. I guarantee he doesn't give two shits. But I'll be curious about his opinion. If you care about people losing their jobs, what about when Doge cut people's jobs? What about the current administration cutting people's jobs? What about people losing their jobs over AI? There is a lot of more, I would argue, more viable things to be angry at that people are losing their jobs for. And then immigrants.
Reason the Republican Party blocks the minimum wage. You think Republican politicians don't vote for an increase in minimum wage because they're worried about immigration?
Did I say about Republicans? Did I say about Republicans?
Well, I'm in a show that was called 25 far-right Republicans.
That doesn't mean I'm going to support every single Republican candidate.
So you and I, let's agree. We both support raising the minimum wage. Yes,
100%.
$7.25 since 2009. It's lost 30% of its value. If you care about wages, we should be raising the minimum wage in this country, not scapegoating migrants who aren't the cause of low wages in the country. You know who's causing low wages? Billionaires, millionaires, people who won't pay fair wages to their wages, regardless of whether you are an immigrant or a native.
I get the monologue right now. Let me respond.
You had one. You had one. Your one study that had a 0.5% impact. Go.
Yeah, and your study sucked that you didn't even know who wrote it, right? So let's get back to the point, right?
Yeah, that was a terrible comeback.
Because I don't need to. There it goes again. The majority of studies say that wages are not impacted.
The majority of your studies are flawed. That's what I'm telling you.
My studies, right? Neither of us are economists.
Yeah, all his studies are flawed, but my one study that 0.5%. Okay.
It's the economist.
Don't assume who I am.
Are you an economist?
I could be.
But are you?
I could be.
Are you?
I'm not going to tell you.
Are you?
I'm going to major in economics.
Are you an economist?
No, not right now.
Okay, so when I said neither is economist, I was correct.
Just don't assume.
To use your favorite word.
See here, dude, this is nothing of substance. You look at the red flags. They're coming up.
Stop bitching. Shut up and fucking continue your point. Jesus.
Let me get
That's
to the
great,
point.
but
So
you're
when
not
you
an
talk about
economist.
when you talk about the CBO, one thing you're not accounting for here is that they're assuming an equilibrium, right? Do you know what that means? You shouldn't make these type of assumptions. You said earlier that unemployment.
Do I
is
know
like
what it means? I thought we were doing assumptions.
Okay, hold on. You mentioned we were like at like 4.2% unemployment. Yeah, that's counting people who have part-time jobs. That's counting
That's how
poverty
it's always
wages.
been counted.
Yeah,
I'm against poverty wages.
you
Can we
won't let
agree
me
again?
Yes, if you go to like a Lookwood Institute, they calculate it away where it's like functional unemployment. Okay, if you account for things like just people who make around $25,000 a year, people who have fallen out of the labor market, people who only work part-time, if you count all of those people together and then add on the unemployment, that's around 25% of the population. So when you go, we don't have jobs, we don't have people to do this, and that, and the other. No, yes, we do.
So people are employed, but they're just not making enough money. We can agree there. So where's the disagreement? They need to make more money. We should be mad at the people not paying them enough. Why are we being mad at immigrants? So jobs exist that are being done. They're just not getting paid correctly. I agree they're not getting paid correctly. You agree they're not getting paid correctly, but you're blaming the immigrants and not the people paying them? Tell me how that makes sense. Okay.
Okay, we don't have a labor shortage. We have a good job shortage. And when you keep bringing these people in, and they're taking those jobs.
The good job shortage is the fault of big firms, employers. I'm an employer. I can say that.
The immigrants.
Who hires the immigrants?
Yeah.
Employers.
Exactly. So when you bring up these big firms,
okay, so
that's the
let me
way
ask
that
you,
keep wages down. You understand that, right?
So let me ask you a question. If you got rid of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium, you think that Republicans and employers of big firms would suddenly raise all the wages?
You notice
that's what you believe.
Answer what I said.
That's what you believe.
It was complete. Your
That's what you believe.
You pivoted the hell
That's what
away
you
from the
believe.
conversation.
Is that what you? I'm on the
Your
subject.
angle is okay?
Do you believe that wages? I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages in the federal wage
They will
if
be
we
forced
stop
to.
immigration?
They will be forced to. When you increase labor's relationship to capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're tightening the supply of
This is a very simplistic
labor.
understanding of economics because
Okay, explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong. Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs.
About 1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like USA foreign aid. So this is the point. They create jobs. I came into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like. I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
You push your left wing
I never
politics.
said Americans are lazy.
I don't know why you say this.
I never said Americans
yes,
are lazy.
You are.
The only person
You're saying
attacking
immigrants have to
people is
come
you.
into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do.
I
That's
never
exactly what you
said
said.
those words. When did I say?
Really?
I'll say that. I'll for sure say that. Definitely. 100%. Now, I'll be honest, there is an interesting conversation to be had about when it comes to So the interesting conversation that I'll be willing to have with someone that's not this motherfucker is employers taking advantage of low wage labor when it comes to immigrants and how that is affecting the economy and the job market. It would be an interesting conversation. Like people, I'm trying to think like I'm trying to use that point to see how this relates to like his white America that he's talking about. Because those people don't want to do those jobs. But we take the immigrants out and we have record low unemployment. So like these people still have jobs, but maybe they'll leave their current jobs for these jobs, hoping that the employers raise those wages so it's more than their current job. I'm trying to see like, yes, there's the interesting conversation about low wage labor. Like I'm very invested into that. I don't see how this is an argument for him to, in the idea that getting rid of immigrants. I get the idea of getting rid of immigrants potentially giving more influence to labor because there will be less of it, and there will be more because of there's less labor. There would be potentially more power for them to do other things. Maybe. A lot of these employers are also moving towards automation. So, I mean, even immigrants are losing their jobs when it comes to this low labor. Automation, AI. So they'll just move to a different use of labor. I don't. And also, you also are assuming that people will unionize enough for them to get higher wages for their low labor, but they need these jobs. So I don't know. I feel like he's making a lot of reaches. There's a conversation there he's just applying the blame and fault in the wrong places.
When did I say it? We're on YouTube. Guys watching on YouTube, rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? When did that came out of my mouth?
Okay, so why do we have to bring in immigrants? Why do we have to bring in immigrants to the country if we have people who are going to do the jobs?
Pause. You've been voted
No,
out.
we have record low unemployment. We don't have people to do the job. We need more people to do jobs.
Nice talking to you.
You're gonna have to go.
Nice talking to you. You're going to have to go, bro, is what he said as I left, to an American citizen. Good to know where you stand on immigration. It's not about immigration, is it? That's what it's not about. Hey, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. How are you?
Not bad. So, what type of immigrants are we talking about?
What do you mean?
Like any immigrants or
immigrants? That's why I said immigrants
illegal
overall.
immigrants?
Undocumented immigrants also contribute greatly to the U.S. I say undocumented. I don't think people are illegal.
So, let's put it this way. I mean, I'm an immigrant too, from Iran.
Okay.
There isn't even
How
a
do you
U.S.
feel about the fact that people here want you out? Are you okay with that?
I'm here to debate you, not debate them.
I mean, you're all on the same side. You're part of one group.
No.
You've been clapping each other.
No, I mean, there are conservatives here, there are far-right people here, there are Republicans
But how do
here.
you feel about that guy wanting me and you to leave?
But, you know, let's
I'm just wondering. Wait, this is the topic of immigration.
It's not
how
about
do you feel about the guy?
It's not about my feelings towards them.
Okay.
It's about staying on this topic.
Okay.
And
Immigrants
talk
are good for America, yeah. It's you and me.
It's it's funny how these people. But if it was a leftist or a Democrat, they'll tell them off. They will recluse them. Is that the word? Recluse? They will shame them. They will yell at them. They will call them names. But if it's a far right guy on my side, oh yeah, I'm not debating them. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
We're good for America. And the guy over there wants us to leave. So I'm just wondering how you feel about that.
So I believe that there has to be strict immigration laws.
Okay.
We have to make sure that the people who are coming here have the good intent of the United States in mind.
That's not my claim, but okay.
So
my claim is about immigrants are net positive.
If we just open our borders to every single person that wants to be here, that claims that they have economical hardship in their country.
Who's calling for open borders?
I'm just saying,
I mean, it's a straw man. So you're just saying a straw man.
No, I'm saying
you're wasting time with a straw man. No one's calling for open borders.
You wasted time.
Immigrants who
you wasted time trying to cause division between me and my
division. He wants you to leave the country. That's a pretty big deal.
Right.
I mean, you can ignore it, but that's your side, my friend.
Like I said, you were the one that tried to derail this argument. By bringing that.
It's literally core to my argument. I'm saying immigrants are good to America. People on your side are saying we should leave. Not me.
And I asked you, what type of immigrants are we talking about? Are we
immigrants
talking about
overall? Overall.
So,
I mean, you want me to get into like particular communities? I'm not playing that.
So you believe that people that come here without any respect to our laws and our border, are going to be good for this country?
No, of course not.
So you can't say that all immigrants overall.
I never said all immigrants. I said immigrants overall. Immigrants overall doesn't mean all immigrants. Sorry to break that to you.
All right, so we have to make sure that.
Yo, Mehdi's so clean with it. I respect it. Quick, decisive. He's got it. He's got it. He got it.
Here, have the good intent of this country in mind. Agreed?
Yes.
All right,
irrelevant to my claim.
But when you have undocumented immigration going on, you can't vet that. You can't make sure about that. Let me real quick, talk about my background. There is no American embassy in Iran. So in order to come here, you have to stay in line for 4 years, and you have to go through some serious vetting procedure to get here. But I made it, and that process has to be in place because you don't want terrorists.
But
hold on. The process is in place.
I went through lots of vetting.
All right, I'm done with this video. There was really nothing to analyze. It was just laughing at the fucking unhinged fascists in this video. If I were to point out any interesting points, I would point out the racist dude who wants to kick Mehdi out of the country. The thing about labor shortages is low wage labor is an interesting conversation. There's also the conversation about H-1B visa immigrants that has happened as well, that people like Vivek and Elon Musk and eventually Donald Trump turned on this as well. So the immigration conversation can be interesting. Obviously, we don't want illegal immigration. Honestly, we don't. No, fuck. People misconstrue what illegal immigration. Obviously, we don't want people to come into the country without being vetted. Illegal immigrants are actually just undocumented immigrants who are people waiting for their documentation. A lot of them are claiming asylum and waiting for their asylum process to go through because the process is so strenuous and it takes a long time. So that's an interesting conversation. H-1B visas and immigrants is an interesting conversation. And wage low wage, high labor using immigrants is also an interesting conversation. Like, I wish we could focus on productive dialogue about immigration, but the dialogue is just all immigrants are bad, all of them are evil, they're ruining the country, we should get them all out. And that's literally the extent of the conversation. And then lies about illegal immigrants are here illegally. They're just undocumented. A lot of them are not here illegally. The people who try to come here illegally are turned away at the border. We don't have an open border. That's a fucking lie too. We don't let in criminals. That's a fucking lie too. It's just like, well, that's all I got there. Well, that video sucked. But I think Jubilee making this video exposed how insane the right wing is. With that said, hope you guys enjoyed. You have a good one. Take care. Peace.